Right. Let's forget about the divorce and let's just get rid of the wife and we won't have to deal with these issues of money. But life is not quite so simple in a courtroom, and I want to go back to Charles Mittelstadt, who is the defense investigator in this case. One of the things I am sure that you had to look for were other people who might have a motive to kill this woman, right?
Well, in this case, there are, if I can just kind of go back to your last question, and then
you may go back anywhere you like.
Okay, there's a tremendous significance to the crime scene issues that were discussed yesterday with Welcome Harris, and particularly with regard to the placement of the shell casings. And the significance is strictly legal in the sense that in order to prove the felony murder charge, you have to prove the underlying charge, the burglary charge. And so being able to get the perpetrator inside the home is the legal significance of all of the placement issue there with regard to these shell casings. And then, of course, there's going to be testimony, or there may already have been, because I have not been in the courtroom the entire time, about how the first responders came in and some of these casings may have been kicked around, etc. But that really is the significance of the shell casings with regard to that. Back to your issue with regard to developing some type of theory, alternate suspects, and so forth. Obviously, in a perfect world, you'd want to be able to do that, although clearly it's not the defense's burden. The burden falls squarely on the shoulders of the prosecution in establishing their case. And we're at a tremendous disadvantage based upon the passage of time. I mean, this is a 19-year-old crime. Frankly, some of the witnesses are dead. We have some defense witnesses that have been deceased for a number of years in this case. And we're working at a tremendous disadvantage in terms of trying to develop a theory with regard to alternate suspects and so forth. Also, there's this issue of the divorce, and there has been a ruling by this judge about some evidence that has been excluded. We either we're going to litigate the entire divorce over again, or we weren't. And in this case, the judge decided that we're not going to litigate the entire divorce. Had we been in a position to do so, then some evidence would have come out about different individuals that Lita Sullivan was seeing. You've heard some mention of Bob Daniels in our opening argument and the incident with the garage door. There were other similar incidents, none of which we'll be able to get into in this case. Interesting in and of itself that you won't be able to deal with that. Joe Tacopina, I still go back to the fact that every case is potentially winnable on the basis of you don't have someone who is there recording everything that went on. One of the things that Charles Mittelstadt brings up is the passage of time. Well, some people will say that that really hurts the defense, but it also hurts the prosecution. Sure. I mean, it's a crime scene that is definitely stale. I mean, witnesses that may be helpful to the prosecution or defense are not around,